Hello, I'm David DeCosmo, and this is Preview, a public affairs program presented by Electric City Television. During the virus pandemic, we have been doing our shows from home, and our guests have been joining us by way of computer video link. Today, our guest is Mike Toledo, who is an information specialist with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, better known to most of you as PennDOT. Well, Mike, PennDOT, like every other organization, has been trying to function during this virus pandemic, and I guess things haven't been any easier for you folks than any of the other businesses around our area.
Well, we've been doing our own. We've been back as of May 1st. We started our construction projects back up, so we're still going on as usual. We're out there doing all the road projects that are available.
Now, are you a bit behind schedule because of the time that you had to be off?
On road construction, we're about a couple weeks behind, yes.
I know people are concerned about getting their driver's licenses renewed. There's the issue of the new license, the regular ID license. Are the centers back up and running now?
Well, Lackawanna County opened up on Friday because of when we went from red to yellow. So some of them have been open for several weeks now, and the ones in the red counties just opened up this past Friday. But they're going to start doing the testing up to June 20th. If you were priorly scheduled for a test, you can make a reappointment, and after June 20th, they're going to open it back up to the public to start making appointments for their driver's test. If you want to renew your driver's license online, they will use the picture that's on file. If you want to, if you got a camera card in the mail, you have to show up in person to get your picture taken. And also, the Real ID has been pushed back to October 2021, and they're not going to start doing Real ID back till sometime later in the summer.
So the centers at this point will not offer the Real ID service?
Right, probably around the end of the summer they're looking at, later this summer.
All right. I think that's probably a healthy thing and gives people a real chance to catch up. I know some people were afraid that they'd either lose their license or not be able to get it renewed because they were stuck at home.
Right. You could renew your auto registration online anyway. So most of the stuff's going to be done online.
All right.
But we are open, back up and running.
What about things like car inspections? We're all on a timetable for those. We all have a sticker on that window that has a certain month. Has that been extended as well, Mike?
Yeah, that's been extended to June 30th.
What about safety programs?
Well, all the safety programs, you should always, no matter anything, you should always follow the rules of the road, no matter what. And right now, we're going back into our campaigns. The 4th of July is going to be coming up in a couple of weeks, and we're talking about boat safety, aggressive driving. Also, another one is when you're out there now that there was more pedestrians out there walking, there's more people riding bikes, motorcycle safety. So all the safety issues are still the same, and to make sure your children are in the proper child safety seat. So there's still a lot of safety issues going on.
Ironically, traffic has been, up until now, traffic has been almost cut in half. Has that been a helpful thing or not to PennDOT?
Well, it has cut down on crashes. And like I say, you have to follow the rules all the time. Now we're into, they extended the click it or ticket. And so they're still out there enforcing the seatbelt rules. And it has, like I said, it has saved lives and cut down on crashes.
Well, it's good to know that in one respect, anyway, when it comes to the highways, the virus has actually saved a few lives. Now, another thing that's important to safety, of course, would be highways in good condition. Along that line, construction should have been started by now, but you say that it is finally underway, and I know that there's a rather long list of major highway projects throughout your district. So as motorists begin to take to the highways a little bit more, Let's go over what some of those major highway construction projects are and exactly where they are and what kind of projects are involved.
Oh, there's several projects going on. One major project is I don't know if you're familiar. It's out in Roaring Brook and the Moscow area. It's called the Twin Bridges, 84. So those bridges are being replaced. The project was supposed to start in April. It started in May, and they're doing some preliminary work out there now. It's a $113 million project, and it's going to take 6 years. So that's one major project.
That's the two bridges that are the bridges that serve both 84 and is it 380?
380, yes.
And so if you're coming out of Scranton heading toward either the Poconos or toward New York State,
New York,
that's part of your trajectory.
And also the exit off 84, exit 2 is going to be on the right side instead of on the left side. So they're going to put a ramp up. So when you're going on 435, it's going to be you're going to be able to get out on the right side. So that is a new exit there.
Now you'll be able to keep traffic flowing while the work goes on.
Yeah, there'll be 2 lanes open, 2 lanes of traffic flowing always for this time being.
And that is again a multi-year project.
That's about a 6-year project. And also, the Trail Association in Moscow got some funding for there's going to be a trail underneath that bridge too.
So you're actually helping to expand the rails to trail system.
Yes. And also, the 84 project continues. They're replacing I-84. So out in Lords Valley area, that project started back up on May 25th. So they're back out there working on replacing I-84. And there's several bridges in that project that bridges will be replaced. There's also several bridges on 84 from the junction of 380 out to the Wayne County line. They are replacing and refurbishing several bridges.
So people should be aware as they begin to travel again that they're going to hit some construction projects. And I know one of the other major safety concerns you've always been talking about has been the idea of making sure that people slow down in those construction zones.
Oh, work zone safety is our top priority. So that is definitely during the work zones, you want to slow down and follow the speed limit.
Unfortunately, you've lost some PennDOT workers over the years in those zones. Right.
So safety is top priority. And they are testing that they have an automatic a car that's they have some automatic safety things in the work zones.
Speed monitoring vehicle?
Yes. So they will be in the work zone in certain areas of the state.
Any other major projects on the books?
Well, also there's exit right off the 81 South, right past the Central Scranton Expressway. The Music Street exit is closed. They're refurbishing the bridge right there at Music Street at 81. So it's 2 lanes are open, and there is an exit there for emergency vehicles only. So there isn't one right there. They're continuing working on the several bridges from that location all the way down to the Music County line, Lackawanna County line. There's 3 or 4 bridges in there that they're doing. They're finishing to replace this concrete on the I-84-81 project. There's also they're starting to work on the signal project in Dunmore after 81 North exit in Dunmore. They're putting new signals in there. There's several projects in Luzerne County that are continuing. Several bridges that they're working on in Luzerne County, and they're going to start paving I-81 and the 80 junction at Route 93. So they're starting on June 6th, actually Monday, and they're going to go south for 7 to 8 weeks, and then when they're done, they're going to go north. And that's a project that's going to go from 7 in the morning till 6 at night.
When they do repaving, Mike, I had always heard some controversial, that scuttlebutt type thing that, do they use blacktop or do they use concrete? And I had always heard that if it was originally done it had to be done that way again. Is that true?
I'm pretty sure it is. I think they're putting that's a tough question, but I think it is being done that way.
Okay, so concrete where it was concrete before, blacktop where it was blacktop.
Right, they're replacing the concrete and putting new concrete in.
Mike, you may have already touched on this, but there's one section of Interstate 81, north of Pittston, where the road had deteriorated to the extent, or as you drove over it, there was a constant bump, almost as though you had a flat tire. And I know you started some time ago to work on fixing that problem up. What is that one? What's the status of that?
Right. That's the grinding project that they've been working out there on 81 and from the Scranton Expressway, Central Scranton Expressway up to 84.
Yes.
So they've been working on that project. Was supposed to be done in the spring of this year, so it's going to be done in the fall. It's going to be completed in the fall of 2020.
So that's one of the projects that sort of fell victim to the virus.
Right. So they started back up on that, and they had, if you remember, they had the Dunmore the on-ramp in 81 South closed, and now they reopened that, and they're only going to be doing temporary lane restrictions.
I have noticed as I'm driving along our interstate, there are several new message boards, electronic signs. Some of them are permanent. Some of them look more like they're temporarily placed in various locations. I gather that this is really kind of new technology coming into play to let people know what's going on as they travel.
Well, yeah, the message boards are out there to keep the public informed and know if there's a crash, weather conditions, what traffic conditions are ahead. So, yeah, there's some temporary boards out there and some permanent ones out there.
The temporary ones you can move where you want when you need so, I guess.
Yeah, and sometimes they're put out there to let people know that there's a construction project going on, or a detour, or some kind of project that they have going on.
People also tend to notice that when there is a construction project going on, they start seeing signs about it 2 miles before work actually starts. Why are the warnings out that far?
Well, that's for the safety of the worker. They always let people know what's up and to make sure they get in the proper lanes prior to construction.
Has the delay in projects been beneficial in any way? If it were winter season, you'd say, gee, we haven't had to use as much salt. So in that case, you save money. Well, of course, this has happened during some pretty good weather conditions. I don't know if it's been good for you financially or detrimental financially.
Well, that I haven't looked at the numbers, but I think we held our own, and there may be, and any if we did incur any savings, it all goes back to paving the roads and fixing the roads. It all goes back into road work.
Has PennDOT had to do any layoffs during the virus pandemic?
They had some people during the time. They had some people that had to take use their own leave for a couple of weeks. Some of the workers that couldn't work from home.
Now, what are your hopes? You have some solid plans in the works for construction and things. Are there any projects that are on the drawing board that we're hoping for the next few years to be coming up?
They are still working on a third lane at 81. That's about 8 to 10 years away. There is also a project proposed to extend 81 down in the Wilkes-Barre area around the arena, from the arena down to Nanticoke. That is a project that's in the works, and that's one of them I'm aware of.
So these are all things that will be happening, but not in the immediate future. No,
and also if you saw the Scranton Times, there's 4 bridges that they're going to be they're in design now for the city of Scranton. There's 4 bridges that is being replaced in Scranton, and they're going to start like in late 23 to 24.
So many of the projects that are in the works or even planned involve bridges. Why is that, Mike?
Well, because some of the bridges are need to be repaired, and they get inspected on a regular basis. So there's need to replace deficiency bridges.
So the bridge situation is obviously a safety concern, and I guess that's really a national issue.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, I know that you've been, I guess, working from home whenever you can. Have a lot of the PennDOT officers been doing the same?
Absolutely, we'll have our staff meeting on the phone today. We do some Zoom meetings. I'm trying to do some community outreach with local Chamber of Commerce's. We do some Zoom meetings. Anybody that's out there want to have me come out and talk about projects or have any questions for us about even replace. I got a call this morning about a sign that needed to be replaced. So there's all different issues out there. So people could call us if they have a road issue, a drainage issue. So there's issues people have.
Well, the biggest issue with most people is potholes.
Yeah, we're out there always doing pothole patching, seam sealing. So pothole patching is always an ongoing.
There was set up just a couple years ago a hotline, I believe, for people to make sure that you folks knew where problems were developing. Sometimes those potholes literally show up overnight.
Yeah, it's 1-800-FIX-ROAD.
So if someone is driving and sees a pothole, they can call 1-800-FIX-ROAD to report it?
Yes.
Okay. And what about contacting PennDOT if you're a municipality or an individual and you have an issue that you're concerned about?
Well, you can always just call. My number is 570-963-3502, and we'll get you connected to the right party. Because some people have questions about permits. They have traffic signals. There's a variety of issues out there.
Well, I think perhaps one of the things that concerned a lot of people, especially from the municipal end, was with the slowdown of things because of the virus, they still had red tape to deal with. And I'm wondering how much of an effort was made, or maybe is still being made, to cut through red tape.
Well, there's always an effort to make projects work and follow the procedures. I mean, there's always going to be red tape on certain projects, but we do the best we get the projects done as we follow the rules and complete the projects.
All right, Mike, our time is just about up, and I'm wondering if there's anything you'd like to add to the viewing public.
Oh no, we do fine. And like I said, if they want to contact us, you can contact us at 570-963-3502 is the number for PennDOT.
Okay, Mike Toledo from Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll...
Oh, thanks for having me. Be safe. Always follow the rules of the road. Buckle up. No texting and driving. All the rules of the road are still there.
Okay, take care now. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Michael, and thank you for joining us here on Preview. I'm David DeCosmo. Until we see you again next time, here's hoping all your news is good.